I'm starting to think it's me. Sorry, folks. I know this is a great podcast. I sound like I'm in the distance. I don't hear my own voice.
Hello. You should be good now.
That's mildly better. I can deal with that. Can you do more whatever you just did? Technical issues here, folks. There. Perfect. Thank you. Not only am I going blind and having to wear cheaters now, folks, but I'm also going half-deaf. Half-deaf as well. Sure. It's what happens when you drink a bunch of drinks before the podcast, folks. Buckle up. I'm on one today. And if you don't like listening to that, go listen to Joe Rogan or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where we're at.
Welcome back to the Eastside Job Trailer, buddy. How are you?
I'm fantastic, my man.
We are here recording again from the Eastside Job Trailer. I'm with John across the table as always, buddy. How was your week?
Same old, same old. I mean, the job's moving right along. We're getting warmer weather. Can't really bitch.
Well, you could bitch about being up in JLG for the last how many days?
2 weeks.
How high in the air?
55 feet.
Things could be worse, folks. If you're sitting in a nice, comfy office somewhere, you're working on the ground, keep that in mind. It could have been 2 weeks at 55 feet.
Right, trying to bend pipe and push wire by myself. If anybody's ever tried to bend pipe in a JLG bucket,
it's not fun.
Try it. Guys were starting to give me shit because they'd see me
with a harness on.
With a full harness on.
You have to, though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
They were giving me shit because they'd see me like holding the pipe over the edge and having the bender hooked onto my shoulder and squeezing the pipe to me to bend the 90.
Oh, jeez.
And that's the only way you can do that.
Because you don't want to come down every time because that's eventually just annoying.
Yeah, no, I don't want to run the JLG that much. And it's time suck having to go up and down.
That's for sure. We definitely got off to an interesting start here. Well, my man, you want to get after it?
Yeah, go right ahead, dude.
All right. Well, as I said, welcome everybody back to the Job Trailer today. John and I are pretty excited. We've had recently a few return guests on, and it's always been fun to get to talk to somebody after they've come back again. If you haven't listened to his first episode, pause now. Go back and check out episode 18 of season 1. He not only was our first guest and had some good stories, some interesting information, and what I would say would be well-spoken perspective about his long career in contracting, but also helped us stay on track during that recording. I know John agrees with me on that.
Oh, for sure.
He was also the first of many lessons that every guest has some sort of nervous quirk. Welcome back to the show, friend, United States Marine, and our 2024 Guest of the Year, Doug Luebke.
Yes, sir.
That's my longest intro yet, buddy. I can't believe I only messed it up once.
No, you were good, man.
You're not wearing your Velcro pants,
No,
right?
I was going to say that. I said, well, I didn't wear my fucking
I was-
but I got zippers.
All right. So that's somehow worse. I'll let you figure out why, folks.
Mental image there.
Welcome back, man. We're glad to have you, sir. Cheers. Thank you
Yes,
for coming in and
cheers.
joining us in the Job
Cheers.
Trailer again. Like I said, folks, I've gotten after it already, so if there's a couple extra slurs now and then, give me a break.
Right.
The job trailer, huh? That's East Side Job Trailer.
We always called them the Job Trailer, but then we decided, well, one's in the east, one's in the west of the city, so the east side and the west side. And from a fluke misspeak, John called it the Easy Side Job Trailer, or texted me Easy Side. We also started calling it the Easy Side Job Trailer,
right.
too. So.
Right.
Both of them are good.
Nah, I think so, too.
Doug, suck that mic up to you a little bit.
Yeah,
Let
a little
everybody
closer,
hear it.
Yeah. if you're excellent start. If you're worried about it tickling your beard and your mustache, that means it's in just the right place.
All right.
We're trying to get better on the audio here.
Just like better. Well, never mind.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, we're podcast apprentices still.
Yeah, we still are. No, we're through a year. We're second years now.
Yeah,
But
we're still
second years,
apprentices.
We're still apprentices.
Sophomores.
Sophomores, right. Quick recap of the last episode. Doug led us through a storied career about how he got to where he was going from just starting out on a site, helping a guy clean up, starting to learn a few things after he got back from being in the military. Like I said, United States Marine. Finished in 01, 02?
01.
01, okay. And when he came back, just got himself into contracting and learned his hard lessons. Don't waste money on wrong advertising. Be careful of different kinds of wood and stuff. We had a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah, concrete.
Yes.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it immensely.
We had a good time. Since then, what's been happening, man?
Whoa.
Big, long, open-ended question.
Yes.
Get after it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot happening. So I don't remember when I was on last time, but probably since then, in about November of last year, I kind of figured out that my body wasn't being able to perform, some of the tasks I was doing, like framing and putting up roof trusses, sheathing, windows, blah, 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 blah. And I was starting to hurt. My body was starting to hurt. Elbow, trigger finger, back. I fucked up my back. So I just thought about it, and what I wanted to do was shut down my business and transfer over to a company, as a project manager, supervisor, or whatever. So I don't know. I started shutting down my jobs, not taking any more jobs. Otherwise, I would have been booked, obviously, through July or August or whatever. But so that was hard, it's telling people no, because I never tell people no. It's always like, yeah, I can do that. I'll do that. Yeah, hell, what's another Sunday working? So I don't know. I put a date on it about end of March 2025. I got to have a job.
Some sort of change.
Yeah, something's going to change. So my brother Tim helped me out quite a bit with my resume and looking for jobs. Every day we were back and forth with Doug, check out this job. I think this is a good job. And, I was on Indeed all the time looking. Well, I put my resume out there. That was the first resume I've ever did in my life.
Okay, so let me stop you right here. We're going to start at the fact that was the first resume he ever did in his life. With all due respect, my friend, just for perspective for people, you're how old?
62.
Okay, continue, my friend.
So anyways, it was a long, I mean, if you included all my military history and all that, and, it gets pretty deep. Not a lot of jobs, but other than my construction company, and then working for Raytheon and working for another company over in Afghanistan and Iraq. So anyways, put my resume out there, I don't know, maybe 20 times on 20 applications for various jobs, commercial superintendent, which I could do, but no experience. Regular project managers for new home builders or remodeling companies or whatever.
Yep.
So didn't get any hits. I'm like, oh man, what the fuck is going on? Maybe I need to redo something. My brother looked at it. He goes, get rid of all your dates. Anything that dates you as an old fucker, get rid of it. So I did.
How much stuff could really be on your resume that dated you? I'm curious now.
Well, when you start looking at, you were at a job from this date to this date, you retired from the Marine Corps and you went in 1981, you retired 2001, then people add that up real quick and it comes up to fucking old.
So it just comes up to
you're
old.
not wrong. It's not really complicated math. That's a good point.
No,
yeah.
it's pretty simple. Yeah. So anyways, to make it a little bit more difficult for people reviewing my resume, I took all that off. Anyways, we kept going. I think middle of February, after maybe 25 applications, and I'd get some rejections. Some people kick back, say, hey, we don't want you because you're a fucking idiot or whatever, which I'm not. But
and I don't think that they'd actually say that.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. So you did get some. I did some really weird first interviews. One was, oh God, it was like a psych eval. Like when I was a drill instructor, they made you take the psych eval.
You called me about this when it happened.
If you were red, you're definitely out. If you were yellow, you'd have to get, special attention from Dr. Minagawa, the psych doctor. And then if you were green, obviously you were in. And this was to get into school initially. And it was like 600 questions. And, just an example is like right in the beginning, like, do you like flowers? Yes or no? Fucking, yeah, sure, I like flowers. Fucking 100 questions later, do you like red flowers? Well, no.
Yeah, it's a personality evaluation.
Oh God. So anyways, one of the interviews was that. And then there were some random weird questions at the end. And anyways, then they wanted to do a video interview, like a Zoom interview. But it was, you log onto their website, you answer, a couple of questions, and you're videoing yourself.
As they can see you. Gotcha.
No, they can't see you. You're recording it. And then once you get done and you think you're happy with it all, you just launch it to them and then they review it.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, they get to see that recording.
Yeah. And that was just, I was like,
that's fucking weird.
I'm talking to myself and I'm like, this is so fucked up.
What was the job going to be that you would have got that had that?
The project manager for for a remodeling company.
If you're listening to that remodeling company, that's weird. I gotta tell
that
you,
is fucked up.
that's
Look,
pretty fucked up. Yeah.
I don't mind integrating some technology these days, right? That's not a bad thing. But if you're gonna make it so fucking impersonal that's how you're gonna do your interviews, get fucked.
Right.
Even a phone call is better than that.
Right.
Also, you're such a shitty judge of character that you would take a personality test over meeting someone and judging who they are. That's crazy to me.
To me, that's just nuts.
Those personality exams, I mean, they're legitimate to the point that they'll be able to tell if you're a fucking psychotic ass.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
And then they can
didn't
weed
catch
you out,
me.
right?
They didn't catch me, but I'm just saying.
You're not psychotic. I mean, you're a little dark, but you're not psychotic.
No, it was weird. It was weird. Anyways, so I got an interview with a home builder out in Wisconsin. Did a phone interview. Went really well. He called me in for in-person interview. That went really well. So he's like, oh, I'll reach out here shortly, and he sure did. He gave me an offer letter. While I was mulling that offer letter over, another company contacted me on Sunday via Indeed, and he just sent it out there. He goes, hey, I want to do a phone interview with you, Zoom call interview with you, whatever day. And I was like, fuck, I picked the first day because I didn't want this job in Wisconsin, man. It was start in Hudson and go to Eau Claire and back every day. And they didn't want to pony up anything for travel. So I was like, oh, fuck, this is bad. Not as much as I wanted salary wise, but so anyways, the good news is this other company contacted me, remodeling company, and I'll get into all the particulars of that here in a bit.
Sure.
But
are you laughing because you can hear my dog crying upstairs?
Look, if anybody can hear that, the dog is not dying. I fucking promise.
Nobody's torturing the puppy. She's in her kennel upstairs with lots of toys. She's just lonely. If you can hear that in the background, I'm sorry. The dog is fine. I swear. Yeah, anyways, continue. Sorry, Doug. I'm glad you could hear it too.
Yeah, I was just rolling with it.
Yeah, no, keep going.
Yeah. So anyways, did a phone interview with this guy, and I was real impressed, just automatically by him. And so he's going, hey, I got a lot of resumes to go through. I got a bunch of interviews I got to do. He goes, well, then, hopefully I'll be done at the end of next week. And this was Wednesday, so, like a week and a half. And then the week after that, I'm going to do in-person interviews. So cool. So anyways, he starts to ask me these questions, and we're on Zoom, and, he's in his office, and, he's this casual dude. And so, he gets done and he goes, you got any questions? So I asked him a few questions. I don't remember what they were, but so he goes, hey, give me your email address so I can send you an in-person invite. Even before we got done with the interview, I'm like, awesome. I mean, awesome. I mean, you guys know me. It's like, if you can meet me, talking on the phone is one thing, yeah, that's fine. But a Zoom was good, but then an in-person interview was just, that's just it. I got all that charisma,
Nobody's disagreeing, buddy. Nobody's disagreeing.
Fucking rolling in there. So, so I took his, I think it was like the next Monday or something. And, he emailed me, and I said, he goes, be here at this time and whatever. And we'll do an in-person interview with a couple other of the staff. And I just say, what's the attire? I just want to make sure I was dressed. I don't know. It's in an International Market Square, so I mean, it could be in coat and ties.
Right.
Yeah, you could show up, and that guy could be in a hoodie, company hoodie, right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make sure I had the right attire on. But anyways, so I went to that interview and sat down with them. Matt is the owner of Sawhill Custom Kitchens and Remodeling.
Shout out Sawhill Custom Kitchens and Remodeling. Hey, Matt.
I don't know. I told him about that I was going to do this podcast. Not him.
The buy us a beer link is on our website at isawpodcast.com.
You will be a sponsor of an episode.
Feel free. Yeah, we'll sponsor an episode. Continue, Doug.
All right.
You're going to call him out. We're going to plug it. That's fine.
Yes. All right. Got it. Anyways, Matt, and then one of the design ladies, Trisha, was there. And then the other project manager was there. So they're going around asking me all these questions, and I'm doing well. They're easy answers to me. It's like, a lot of it's just common sense, and I've seen it all, and did whatever. But that's a couple of questions about how are you going to handle this, how are you going to handle that. But I'm just like, hey, if I can't handle it, I'll come to you. Basically, it's like So they're asked, we're going around, and Trisha, she goes, so when can you start?
That's a good feeling, right?
I'm like, well, April 7th would be awesome. Because I got a bunch of jobs to button up, and
Because
so
you have to honor your commitments you already made. Like, good on you, right?
yeah,
Of course you do. Yeah.
Did I say it was Monday? I think it was a Wednesday, anyways, because I remember the next day. But so, anyways, Matt at the end. He goes, yeah. So when can you start? And so I told him April 7th, and the next day he called me on his way home from work, and he offered me the job. And he says, don't bullshit around. What do you want? So I told him what I wanted, and he goes, all right, done. And he goes, we also give these other, perks, which the other company in Wisconsin wouldn't even fucking budge on. And here he's offering up, fuel and maintenance money and all that. So I'm like, fucking A, man.
Nice.
I said, great. So the next day he sent me an offer letter, and or maybe it was even that night, and signed it and took that job. So I've been there for about 3 weeks. The first week was pretty hectic. Just running around. The project manager, James, he goes, all right, take me to all these different jobs. All right, this is the state of this one. This is the state of that one. This is, this was the guy that quit. This is one of his jobs, so I'm thinking in my head, I'm taking this over, right? I'm all in. Balls deep.
Why not? Get after it, right?
Yep, going after it. And so anyways, James and I hung out, we went to all these different jobs, and by Wednesday or Tuesday we had the team meeting, and everybody gets together and we kind of go down, what's happening. And Matt's got it pretty laid back. He goes around and everybody, answers a question or tells you how you did that week, or what's concerning you, or how do you feel, You can tell them as much or a little as you want, It's pretty good. So everybody goes around the table, and then at the end they got this iron teapot like from China or something, right? And it's packed full with all these little Post-it notes. So what you do is we got our core values, and don't ask me to rattle them off because I probably couldn't do it. But anyways, we got these core values.
What are the core values?
I'd call you a company man if you did, actually. Yeah, so it's a good thing you're going to skip it. Yeah.
A lot of it is, is teamwork and, stuff like that, and just taking care of the clients, taking care of each other, just bare bones. And they took a lot of thought to come up with these core values, right?
Right.
So anyways, what you do is you pass that along to somebody else in the staff that, you thought did something great. Great.
I know why the dog was crying now. My missus is home. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. So you do something that goes with the core values of the company. So you just write a little post in there. So Leon's the OPSO. I call him the OPSO, the ops chief, right? Because he runs a lot of the shit that's going on with ordering, and Leon's a good dude. He works hard, and so Leon passed the thing to me, and he had a nice note in there. We're looking forward to all your knowledge that you can bring and make us better or whatever. So it was very nice. So I had the teapot. So it was a real nice welcome. They got the Matt and his wife. I want to say her name is Melissa. If I'm wrong, then
she'll forgive you.
Yeah,
okay. Shout out Melissa or whatever it is. Missy.
So they made me a really nice welcome aboard package. Tumblers and all this stuff. For your office kit, pens, highlighters, all that shit. So that was really nice. Had a couple signs up, welcome Doug to Sawhill. And so I felt that was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, that's really great. And I mean, we probably should have pointed out the fact, because Doug knew what we were going to talk about a little bit today. But I mean, you've laid it out pretty clear now. You have moved from your own business owner, taking on all the responsibility, and found yourself a job with what sounds like an excellent company.
Yeah,
for
right?
sure.
Yes.
So, and we had talked about it before now, obviously. Let me get you to step a tiny bit back. I know you said about it being harder on the body when you get to a certain age or whatever. Like, I get it. I'm feeling it now. Like, I totally understand. Was it for even people who might be 30 or 40 or 50, whatever it is, was it nerve-wracking to be making a big change? Like, yes, you're going to be supervising the same kinds of work, but it's a new environment entirely. New people, new structure. You got other company people you got to report to and be responsible. I mean, it's a whole new thing. Like, how did it feel making a big change, buddy?
Yeah, so that's an excellent question. I'm surprised you came up with that.
Holy fuck! Shots
I
fired.
didn't
folks.
even fucking take
Shots
that
fired.
shot.
Shots fired.
So
Good on you, Doug. Thank you.
No, what was the question again?
Was it nerve wracking making that big change?
No. Yeah, it was a little bit. But you know, when I knew I got the job, and I started on April 14th. Unbeknownst to me, he was in Cancun with his family, so he didn't want me to be there without him. You know, there to greet me, right?
Oh, that's
and
fantastic.
I was like, yeah, and it worked out perfect because I still had shit to do. I still had jobs to finish up.
Is Saw Hill still looking for more people?
Yeah.
That's Saw Hill Custom Cabinetry.
Yes. Custom kitchens.
Custom Kitchens, pardon
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I want to make sure I get it right. I'm writing
Yep.
it down right now.
Yes.
Saw Hill Custom Kitchens.
And baths, remodeling. I don't know. I mean, it can go a lot of different ways, but that's pretty much
And you can
it.
find the Buy Us Our Beer app on our website at isawpodcast.com.
Again, shameless plug. But yeah, so get back to what you were saying, Doug. It's
Yeah,
that
thanks for
big
keeping us
shift,
on
man.
track, man. Jesus.
Hey, you took a shot at me.
No, so anyways, yeah. So I mean, that last week I got rid of my trailer, sold my trailer right away. Another remodeler bought it because you seen the way I had it set up in my, you know, for all my shit. And yeah, so that was a little bit, but going in to me to a new company, which is awesome. The first day, like I said, was getting fed with a fire hose. Tuesday was a lot of meeting. Wednesday, James and I were still kind of bouncing around. By Thursday, we were splitting up. I was going, because we had like 8 jobs. He was running 8 jobs. And I know how stressful that is. That's fucking nuts. But he did a good job. He did an awesome job. And then he showed me around and helped me get my feet, planted on the ground. And so that was pretty cool. And then by Friday, I didn't even see him, and I don't even think I seen him last week, but a couple times for the meeting, so anyways, it's, I think he understood right away that, I know what I'm fucking doing. Right. And it's the hardest part for me was learning all the contacts, who's the electrician, who's the plumber, blah, 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 all those people and all those contacts, so a lot of that was reaching out, James would send me all our contact. I'd download on my phone and then I'd call him or whatever. So that was pretty hard. And then there's some, the computer builder trend, getting that going.
Yeah, when you've been doing things a certain way for a long
Yeah.
time, and again, if you didn't listen to Doug's first episode, I mean, it's been 20 years you've been running your business, a little more than that.
Yeah.
It would be a change to be learning a new computer program, new software. Not that you don't get it. You're smart with technology. It's just learning anything new when you've been doing it the same way for quite a while is It's a big change, right?
Yeah. That was probably the hardest thing is, with going in and learning the processes and what they are. And I still don't have them all down, that's for sure. But just like yesterday, I was doing a schedule on Builder Trend, right? So I'm in there loading it up, what trade, what it is, final electrical inspection or whatever it was, right? And then the example is going to be framing because I was figuring out the framing for this new project that I'm doing, so I'm doing it on Builder Trend. Yep, hit save, boom, hit save. Oh, conflict of interest with this, or time conflict because this guy's also doing something else. But anyways, all through all that, I'm like, I get down and I don't know, I was probably in the, plumbing inspection or something, right? So I was all through all the trades already, and I go to look at the schedule and I'm like, what the fuck? There's nothing on the schedule. It's her page is blank.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit. So about 2 minutes later, I get an email from Matt. He goes, Doug, what the fuck's going on? You got a framer going out to Scanlon. What are we framing out there? And I'm like, whoa. So I knew what happened, because all that data that I just put in on this thing went into this job.
That was already existing.
That was already existing and already getting ready for counter.
Oh, shit.
So there's no framing. There's no nothing out there. So I'm like, all right, I got it, man. I know what I did. I knew exactly what I did. So I went into her because her schedule is open, right? So anything we change in that schedule automatically notifies all the subs that are attached to that job, which is cool. It's awesome.
Fucking technology, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great,
right?
right?
We've had a whole episode on it, but man, the stuff, it makes it so easy now.
So 2 seconds later, I get a response from the framing company that, hey, yeah, we're going, man. We're there. Oh man, that would have been a nightmare to go there and there's nothing there, way out, where this lady lives. But so, anyways, that was that was pretty messed up, but I figured it out.
Well, and I want to bring back to the point that, Doug, I want to reiterate to everybody, you're 62. You're going into this when people are trying to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
if I can jump in real quick, right, according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, more than 1 in 5 workers are now 55 years or older in long-term jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're making a change. Again, we're not suggesting you're old by any means, but you're making a change where a lot of people have already retired through luck or good planning or privilege, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
now you're starting something new to
Yes.
finish things out.
But there's other reasons.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's right. There's always
Other-
extenuating
other
circumstances.
reasons,
right?
yeah. And one of the questions they asked is like, Trisha asked me right away. We were waiting for everybody to get together, and she asked me the first question during the interview. She goes, "What's making you do this?" Right? And I told her, I said, my body's not what it used to be, and I'm kind of concerned about that. And I just got all this knowledge. I got about everything, about all the trades, and I build houses and all that. So I got all this knowledge about everything that I want to, teach people or help people or make a projects run faster, smoother, less fuck ups, all that shit. And and I have that experience, and I bring that. Just don't, something doesn't go right, you throw in the fucking towel. You can't do that. So that's one of my main reasons, is to teach. And we got this young guy named Lewis, who is kind of like a handyman, right? He's our handyman guy. And I was impressed with him the first day I met him. I'm like, this dude's pretty good. Came from Nashville, moved back up here. I think his wife is from Minnesota somewhere. But young guy, my guess is he's probably 35-ish.
Young in my book.
Kind of looks like you.
So he's a handsome devil.
Yeah.
Got it. I can have
Yes.
an image in my head.
Yeah,
now,
he got a big burly beard. And, came from Nashville. He probably, he said,
Anybody with dark hair that's a foreigner just looks like me here, folks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I get it now.
Jason got more gray though, I can tell you that.
yeah, I know. It's the what is that?
More gray than I used to, but not more gray than maybe either of you.
Oh shit, my head is.
I'll
great.
put my beard against yours as far as darkness level goes, my young friend. You can be talking shit all you want. I'll put my beard darkness against yours any day.
I didn't. That was not on the table for conversation. Shut up, Jason.
Yeah, Jason, shut up, Beavis.
Shut up, Beavis.
Jesus. God.
That's great. Yeah, I love when something goes my way, folks. I really, really do. Again, it sounds like you're enjoying it, which is fantastic. So, do you think? I'm trying to figure out the nicest way to ask this question.
Fuck nice. Just ask
Yeah.
it.
Right.
How many more years? You did the math in your head because I know you, right?
Yep.
How many more years do you think you could have done your running your own business job versus how many extra years you're going to get by making this change? And don't get me wrong, we already talked. I asked you about it. You're picking up the tools when you need to. It's not like you're just an office guy, right?
Oh yeah, no,
Right, none at all. But certainly less of that by a
Yeah,
significant amount, right?
Yep.
How much did this extend what you could get for a comfortable work life?
Oh man, that's so when I realized that my body, I had Achilles heel problems from standing on ladders. So when you wake up in the morning, you can't fucking walk.
Preach,
Yep.
brother. You're preaching to
Yeah,
the choir.
yeah.
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay.
When your
Okay,
Achilles
so-
gets stretched out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you had that. I had a tennis elbow where if you even thought about touching it, it fucking hurt. And it doesn't just hurt, it burns. It burnt. You knock it on a table or something, you're just like on your knees, it fucking hurt. So I had that, and my trigger finger, my pinky, sometimes it wouldn't close and it wouldn't open, it wouldn't close. It was just all fucked up.
Right.
So my body was doing it. I just wore my body out last year, just that last summer, working up in Balsam Lake. I just wore it out. So anyways, to answer your question, it's, I think that I could only lasted another year, but it would have been almost detrimental to my body.
Right.
So this, on the other hand, it's a lot of windshield time. You're driving around to, sometimes 3-4 projects a day, and you're putting a lot of fucking miles on, right? all the way out to Scandia, all the way to South Minneapolis, you know.
And mentally switching gears multiple times
Yeah.
all day while you're
Yeah.
driving. Like, I get you, buddy. I really do.
Oh yeah, and then when you're driving, you're getting texts, you know, about questions, or you know, people are calling you, or emails, fucking blah, 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 blah. But you know, I don't answer texts when I'm driving. If something's that I can read it, because I got one of those cup holder deals, but I won't mention the company because then you'll have to do it.
No, we won't do it for the cup holder
No.
company. Although I will tell you, the one that I have that it's dash mounted, I tried 4 iterations for my work truck. Not the cup holder one. I'll get you a good dash mounted one. I got you covered, buddy.
Yeah, the cup holder one. I mean, it's nice. It works.
But it takes up your cup holder.
Well, I got 4 of them.
That's a lot. Continue.
I got a big truck. You got a little truck. I got a big truck. So you need a lot of shit.
So, A.
Don't defend your truck.
No, hold on. No.
Don't defend your truck.
No. 1 second. No. We got to clarify here,
Okay.
just real quick. Okay?
I want to tell you a story about his truck.
I was I know what it's going to be about.
Oh, yes.
I'll write it down. I'll say it before you say it. I know what you're going to bring up.
All right.
What I was comparing was your work truck and my work truck. I wasn't talking about my pickup. I was talking about working. We were talking about working out of your truck,
All
right?
right. Yeah.
My windshield time, my work truck. I was comparing your truck. So that's a more fair comparison.
Yes, it is.
We weren't talking about my half-ton pickup. All right. Now, continue to berate me. I just wanted to make that clarified. I told you I was drinking, folks. If you're still listening, it's on you.
So we're all drinking.
No, so just I'll make it real quick because
No, you don't have to. We get all the time in the world, buddy.
It's just a slam dunk. But
It's not a slam dunk.
so we're up. One of my clients,
Go ahead. Sorry.
one of my clients used to have a cabin up in Wisconsin, and she would let us use it for deer hunting. Right, so we'd all get Wisconsin tags, and we'd go over there. And one year we were looking for firewood. You know, we didn't want to burn up all their wood that they had.
Oh, this isn't the story. I thought
Yes.
this is even better. Sorry,
Yes.
this is even better. Sorry, go ahead.
So, anyways, I remember seeing on the way in this guy made pallets, so he had all these cores of the log, right? And they were like 6 by 6 by, I don't know, 2 feet or something. And they were a pallet. And the pallet was probably 7 feet, maybe 7 feet tall. So we drive by and I'm like, all right, you want to take my truck, Jason? Which is a Ford F350, right? Crew cab, fucking lariat, right? Anyways, he goes, no, we'll take my truck. I'm like, great.
Now, if I can jump in real quick,
Oh,
I had just got my truck.
yes, it was brand new.
I had just got my brand new truck, my first pickup truck. I had
So
just got my brand new
This
truck.
was after the transmission.
This was
dumped
after
out,
the
right?
transmission thing. Yeah. Sorry,
yeah. So, yeah,
Brand
it
new
was,
truck with a
it was
bed.
a brand new truck.
okay.
So we're gonna
Just got it. I was excited. Go ahead. Doug.
we got a lot of we're gonna get a lot of mud on it because this place where this is at is all fucking mud. So that you can see him cringe right there. He goes, "Fuck my new truck, all this mud, fuck."
That's unfortunately true. Keep going.
Fuck. So we drive in, 2 inches of mud on the fucking ground, and we're hey, we want to buy a pallet of wood. How much? It was $70 or something.
It was nothing.
Yeah, it was nothing, and it's like a whole pallet by maybe 6-7 feet tall, right? I'm like, oh fucking A. So he goes, where do you want it? Back of the truck. So this guy gets the
Dude, no. In retrospect, man, everything Doug has not said one single lie so far. Everything is entirely 100% accurate.
I see where this is going.
But the look on the guy's face when we said that,
yeah. Me and
going,
the forklift driver kind of rolled our eyes, right? Because we knew, we knew. And Jason,
I was looking at the fork-wheel driver when it happened. I didn't see Doug, but I saw him. Yeah, keep going.
so he's spinning his tires trying to get up to the truck and fucking get the pallet over the truck, and we're gonna put it right over the tire, right over the axle. And he started letting off on the load, and Jason's truck was going
lower and lower and lower
and lower and
and
lower.
wouldn't stop.
And my butt puckering in perfect synchronicity to how much that truck was going on.
I didn't know that, but that sounds reasonable.
Yes.
Yeah, the pucker factor. Anyways, it pretty much bottomed out his truck, and Jason's eyes were like, "Holy fuck, that's a lot of weight."
There's no pretty much. It bottomed out my suspension.
It put it on the bump stops.
If
right
you
on
would have put it in the
axle,
back of the F350, it would have maybe
No problem. It would have been no problem.
It probably
at all.
wouldn't even moved.
No, it would have moved. But anyways, that's a funny story. Sorry,
The drive home,
that was
so slow.
well. You didn't have any traction on his front tires.
So, dude.
Oh, right. It was that
Dude,
front
no,
end
no,
was
dude,
light, dude.
The drive home was so slow. Embarrassingly, because I was taking the mistake of me wanting to take my truck to show off my brand new truck or whatever was kicking me in the ass and biting me so bad, and the drive home was so much longer because of that. That I was just there like,
There was some ribbon going on.
fuck. Oh yeah. Jabs the whole way.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
just taking it like a fucking champ going,
Yeah. Could you even see the road with how far the front end was up?
that was a rough day for me. Yeah.
That's
Actually,
all right. We came through it all right.
what I thought you were going to say, because I said I thought I knew the story you were going to bring up, and I was wrong. That one was even better. When I got this truck, I was looking at buying a tonneau cover for the back.
Yep.
And him and our buddy Pineapple, Jeff,
Yep.
shout out Pineapple, man. They were teasing me about how small my truck was, my bed of my
Right.
truck, right? To the point that they could almost convince me that I had the smallest of the three lengths, not the mid-size, not the long. I was pretty sure I had like the mid-size one.
Yeah.
They would tease me so much about it for like a day and a half. I ordered the wrong size tonneau cover for my truck because they had mentally tricked me into thinking I had the little one.
Because you can't use a tape measure?
You know, again,
Wait, no.
no. Listen, what you're saying is absolutely correct, right? But in the moment, they had me so mentally fucked up, the two of them, that I had the little tiny boy Tonka truck size. That's the one. I just took them at their word.
The 4x4 sheet of plywood.
Right. That they could visually just look at it and go, "Oh, you didn't have the money to buy a big boy truck." They had gotten my head so much, I didn't even measure it. It showed up. I rolled it out and went,
Oh,
"Motherfuckers!"
Look, folks, peer pressure is real, even with grown men.
Oh, especially with grown men,
Oh.
right? Yeah, but yeah, you boys totally talked me out of that. I ordered the wrong tonneau cover because I didn't even bother to measure because I was so convinced I had a little like.
So the psyops worked.
Oh, they
Wow.
worked. The psyops
Wow.
totally worked, buddy.
And yeah, that's what I was trying to get at too, is like to get back on point.
Right.
Great
You got
stories.
sidetracked there.
But what I wanted to get to is that, all right, you're 62, right? You've decided to now go from, you've already retired. You retired from the military. You retired from the Marines and other things, which we can't talk about because I don't want to spend the rest of my life in a black hole somewhere in the middle of nowhere. But
Right here. In this
Yeah, listen, by the way, folks, what John's referring is there was some things that Doug did during his career that are private things that he doesn't need to discuss. But also the way he described it all of a sudden in a stern tone of voice on his first episode was disturbing.
yeah,
Go ahead, buddy.
like
He meant that shit. That's all I'm saying, folks.
No.
so you're taking on, like, you've already retired from the military. You started and now shut down. I'm going to say go ahead and shut down.
Yeah.
You've
yep.
shut down
That's-
your contractor
that's-
business.
Yep.
Right. You're
I hate to say retire because I didn't retire. I hate to say I quit because I really didn't quit. You know.
no, you just dissolved it.
Yeah. It's
Right.
just like that's enough is enough. So yeah.
Right. But now, and you're 1%. You're literally a 1%. I don't know of any other guys close enough to actually have this conversation with to me that are your age that are changing jobs, starting over in a sense, right? And doing something that's out of, I mean, for all intents and purposes, out of your wheelhouse
Yeah.
for what you've done, right?
You were an army of one, and now
Yeah.
you're part of a team.
Yeah.
Now you're part of a
Do you know
team,
what I
right?
mean?
Yeah, that's a great observation because it is. But the great thing about that is the support that you have, you know, from the designers, from Leon, from James, from everybody. Everybody's there to support you. I mean, if you have a question, you know, I always try and find it because the answer is there somewheres. You know what doorknob is supposed to go there. It's already answered. You know, the designers pick all that stuff, and it's done.
Yeah, there's a spec book.
Yep. So you just look. If you look at that, you'll find out most of your information, or look at the plans. You know, do all your due diligence before you go crying to somebody that, hey, can you help me find that toilet seat, or you know, or whatever. So, but they're there. If you you know, if you need an answer, ask a question about something, they're there to help or whatever. But yeah, that's it. It was on you. That's one of the, I guess that's, something that I never really did. I mean, I worked with subs obviously all the time, and I had my own subs that I related to and I got along with and for vetted, because there's some people I was like, hey, you know, a plumber, you fucked that up, dude. out the door, and then I'd find a different plumber or electrician. And then finally, finally came up with my.
See how subtly and quick you tried to slide that in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you thought I was just going to let you slide away. Okay, keep going.
My electrician, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give a shout out to him. He lives right down the street. Dan Stern Electrical.
Dan Stern, shut up.
Yep.
Absolutely.
He lives right down the street, and he's a former Marine, and that's.
I remember you saying.
Yes.
We talked about it in episode 18.
And when I went up to his trailer, I looked inside of it, and I'm like, that's pretty squared the fuck away. And then I looked around, and he had a Marine sticker, so that was it. That was the end of that story. And he's an outstanding electrician. Absolutely spot on. He is. He's so organized. It's unreal.
Bring him by to event some night. I'd like to meet him.
Yes.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to get at is that a lot of guys, like I know you just from knowing you, you've got so many years left, and yeah, you want to transfer a lot of that knowledge that you have, but a lot of guys that are in your shoes are like, nah, man, I'm done. Like,
yeah, that's unfortunate for them because they're missing out on life.
Right.
Right. I mean, life doesn't stop at any certain age until you fucking croak. But, and
I think that speaks more to the point that I'm trying to get at is that.
Did I interrupt you?
Yeah, kind of. But
it happens.
That you have this ability, and I think a lot of other people need to realize that it doesn't matter if you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. If you want to do it, do it. Right? If you've got it in you to do it, do it. Yep. Right? And there shouldn't be that fear associated with, oh man, I don't want to start over.
Why?
Well, it brings up a statistic that I looked up for us today. So from joingenius.com, only 14% of people in North America claim to be happy in their job.
Right.
Oh, dude, I'm in that 14%. Right. I love I love what I do.
Right, but you found that now, and you found that before. Yeah. That puts you in the microscopic percentage of people who have had multiple careers that they enjoyed, right?
Yeah, the Marine Corps was
right. You've been fortunate in that way, right? Like, but that's not most people.
No,
the average person changes jobs every 4 years now. That's crazy. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, you got to go back to your lineage. I look at that and I'm like, my mom, fucking right there, my mom. My mom taught that.
that lady's getting after it in elder years.
And she, unfortunately,
not knitting and shit, working in her.
My mom is phenomenal. Unfortunately, her sister passed on Monday. I didn't want to.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, that's okay. Rest in peace. What was her name?
My mom's sister.
Yes. Who passed away? You said. Oh. I regret asking the question the second it came out.
Diane. Yeah. Diane. I was thinking I was going through all or something.
I was about to say, that's your aunt.
If he completely blanked on it, I would have really regretted asking that.
We would have gone silent. I would have.
Sorry to be laughing at the moment, but rest in peace. God love you, darling.
Yep. Yeah. She was an excellent person. So anyway, my mom. So I've been calling my mom every day. Mom, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? And you can tell over a couple of days, and she stays occupied by putting together photo albums to send, for whatever. But she's spot on. But where are we going with that? Oh, my work ethic.
Yeah,
that you got from your mom,
your lineage.
Yeah,
lineage. Yeah, lineage was over. Thank you, John.
Yeah. So, anyways, I've always believed that, if you think you're fucking dying, you're dying. I mean, you're gonna fucking die fast. Sitting in a chair watching TV, because you're 6. I look at people that are my age and I'm like, fucking, how old are you? Holy fuck, you look like you're 70. I mean,
you're a fucking train wreck.
Yeah, you are. You're bad. But anyways, so I have I still have a good body. I mean, I'm physical. I work out.
So I actually wrote a note. Now that you say it, I'm bringing it up. Doug is talking about his body couldn't do what it used to do and all this when he was starting to talk about at the beginning of the episode why he made a change. Doug is more fit than John and I combined. Like, let's be realistic here.
Yeah.
Like, he's saying what his body can do. That's still better than the average dude. Like, he's not a piece of shit, fat, falling apart person. Like,
right.
Yeah. I want to get that out there.
Thanks, man. So, I don't know. I forgot.
Also, I'd like to point out how great it is that in our first episode with Doug, as we said, he was our first guest. Doug kept us on track and helped us do really well because it was our first time interviewing somebody.
Yes. Right.
And the turnaround to the fact that we're the ones keeping you on track this time is the irony is not lost on me.
Yes.
I love it. I've been paying attention the whole time. Like, that's the fourth time John got it back on track. I was writing little notes on my paper here.
No, it's awesome.
That's great. I
guys,
love that it's turned around.
It just goes to show you how much you guys have learned how to do interviews.
We've had a handful since we had you last on.
I was the guinea pig.
You were the guinea.
It was so fun.
I had guinea pig on my original intro when I was writing it out, and I took it out because it sounded weird in my head. When I said it out loud a couple times, like, it sounds weird when I say guinea pig. I'm not going to do that.
No, he was our guinea pig.
Yeah. No, that went well though. I enjoyed doing that. That was a lot of fun.
Why do you have smoked salmon on the keyword?
So, thank you for bringing it up, man.
Can we just skip straight to that?
Yeah, let's skip straight to that, okay? We already talked about the Velcro thing.
Oh yeah.
Listen, Doug and his wife, Nicole, are two of the best hosts I know, and another two of them are his brother and sister-in-law, Steve and Kate. Like, the family are excellent hosts. They just have a knack for making you feel welcome and having a good time, right?
Well, thank you.
Doug and I have had a ton of good times over the years. Jeez,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes,
We
sir.
missed a couple years in the middle, but we're back on track. His smoked salmon that he makes on he doesn't have this competition style fancy smoker, but I'm from Nova Scotia, Canada, some of the best smoked salmon in the world, and his is incredible, dude.
Nice.
You got to give guys props when they do something that they explain as being so simple, which you have done to me.
Yeah.
Even when you explain it in your simplistic way, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to burn that. But he just,
Yeah, I'm going to destroy it.
right? Every time he makes it, I try to be like kind of cool, like, oh, that's great, man. Like, it's really good. And not put my hands together and get down on one knee and go, fuck, I love that shit. Thank you so much. Like,
Too funny.
Then I always bring him a chunk. And he's like, oh, "Is that mine?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can keep that."
right. Dude, we stretched out what could have been one evening snack watching TV, the missus and I, with a few nice crackers. We stretched it out over like 3 or 4 days because we didn't want it to be done.
Oh, funny.
You know, we were even like giving the dog little bites going, I hope you fucking appreciate how big a deal this is, you little shit. Like, oh, and by the way, side note, folks, for the people who have been listening about the new puppy Ripley, our producer on the podcast, she has gone from adorable, sweet puppy to 57% Tyrannosaurus Rex, just so you know. I'm going to put some pictures up on social.
And the Tasmanian devil.
She's gone a little wild. She's 6 months now. She's getting pretty rough and tumble.
I think I think she has a little bit of Satan in her. Just saying.
My grandmother would say the hind leg of the devil is in that one.
Yes.
Also, rest in peace, Grandma. But yeah, I just want to give a quick update there.
Too funny.
So you mentioned something earlier I want to bring up, Doug, if we can circle back just for a minute. You were talking about this particular doorknob or that particular toilet or toilet seat style. What people don't realize is, yes, you have changed to a company now when you used to work for yourself, but the knowledge that you had transfers to what you've got now. But it's a little different because before you were keeping sort of all this information in your own head, and now there are databases and cloud files that you can go to just pull all this stuff up.
Yes.
Is that kind of a like relaxing relief of making a change?
You have no idea because, you know, when I had my own business, a lot of those selections that are made and picked out by the designers, I was doing or helping do or, you know, whatever, or even just going to get material, you know, for my jobs. All that stuff is already done. And, you know, you just have to worry about, you know, framing them or stuff like that. But all that miscellaneous stuff is already done. The toilet, the faucets, the sink, the countertop, the flooring, the tile, all that is done on a plan, right? It's awesome.
Which are now decisions you don't have to chase a bunch of homeowners to do, right? Yeah.
Correct. And it's to me, that's very relaxing because I don't have to worry about it. And if there's a question, like I said, I just contact the designer and say, you know, it's a simple thing. It's like, okay, we're finishing up this third story remodel in Minneapolis, big house, huge house, right? And they have this 10-inch baseboard and with a cap on it, and it's going. So it goes right across the outlet.
Of course it does.
Right across the outlet. The top of the cap is right across. I'm like, okay, this is the way I think. Well, if I was a guy putting that baseboard in, I would have noticed that, and I would have fucking go, oh, what do you normally do here, right? What do? Do you notch the baseboard out and suck the the outlet into the wall, or which looks fucking cheesy as hell, right? Because it looks like you cut the fucking baseboard and put the fucking outlet in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
which hacks will do.
which a hack will do. So, so
I mean, I'd spin the outlet sideways and get it sitting above the baseboard, or whatever.
Okay, so
You're also a professional though, man, right? Like hacks exist, buddy.
Okay, so no. In the defense of the electrician, solid conduit up and down. The box wasn't moving.
Oh fuck.
You can change.
There's ways away around that.
You can change that. But yes, I understand what you're saying. The easier way would be,
All right. Anyways,
you bring up the electrical. You know you're going to
Everything
spin us
can be
up. You brought that
changed.
shit on yourself.
No,
That's not
God.
your fault. You brought that shit on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been difficult because it's
Not impossible, just difficult.
very difficult. And yeah, anyways, I came in in the middle of this remodel. Mm-hmm. So anyways, if I was a carpenter, I would have boxed it out, made a flat surface, fucking boxed it out, and then took the casing out. I'm getting fucking animated.
Very animated over here.
Yes.
Those noises you're hearing is him repeatedly hitting the microphone after he was just berating himself for doing it, and that motion again hit the microphone.
Unfortunately, yes, that's what happened. Exactly. So, anyways, I went to the designer and said, "What do you want me to do? These are your two options." Because, and one of the things that I told Matt when I got interviews is like, "Look, I'm going to do everything possible in my knowledge base to come up with a solution before I come to you, asking you what you're going to do, right?" So anyways, so I reached out to the designer. I said, "These are your two options, right?" And she goes, "I don't want to cut in." I said, "I don't either." So we're gonna have Lewis make a box around that, and then take the base cap trim up and around the box, so it'll be just like a raised. It'll be a little bit higher than the baseboard because that's the way it goes. Yep. So anyways, shit like that. It's like, so you can reach out and have questions answered by the designers, or I guess where I was going with this is that's a design question to me, right? Mm-hmm. How do you want that to look? And then, so you ask the designer, and she goes, "I don't care." And I'm like, "I'm going to do what I think then." But you got to give them the option, and that's something I learned. Because if you don't give the designers the option, then you'll get on the bad side of the designer.
Yeah, you start butting heads with them real hard. Yeah. Like they want to have that peace of mind.
So our three designers, they're all great. They're all great ladies, and and if I go to them and say this, if it's a design question, paint color, stain color, all that, I always put it through them first. If it's their project, it's like, "Look, this is what I recommended to the homeowner, and this is what they selected. Would you agree?" "Yep, I agree." "Good." Done. Shit like that. I mean, so you can't. My goal is to be as informative, because I always say, what do I know? Who needs to know? And have I told them? If you live by that, those three phrases, you'll stay out of a lot of trouble. You'll stay out of
Amen to that.
A lot
That's
of trouble.
for sure.
I've lived by that my whole life, and and when you're in. And you guys know it, if you're not communicating, shit can go sideways real quick, and then it's just like, now we're spinning our wheels, we're wasting money, we're wasting time, we're wasting all that shit. So anyways.
When you're also, again, since you worked on your own, I mean, you had helpers, but you basically worked on your own for so long, that intercommunication, fortunately, you had that from previous careers and experience. So, and the whole reason I kind of got down this whole track today, and we were talking, Doug, about this, is regardless of your age or experience, fortunately, or I should say, usually you should have a little more experience, but jumping jobs is not the end of the world. There can be some benefits too.
For sure.
You just get another perspective, right. Just like today when I was doing that tile job, it's like, fuck, you're down on your hands and knees doing all the grout and all that bullshit. And it's just like, I don't want to do this. I get burnt out. I don't want to say I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out of doing the work, I guess. That's probably it. Getting up and down, fucking doing all the tile work, doing everything is just, it's fuck that.
Yeah. No,
I burn out, but now I'm like, I'm all remotivated now. You get up in the morning. If you don't get up in the morning and fucking go, "Yep, I'm ready to go on this day," then maybe you find a different job. Right. Yeah.
Well, shit.
Yeah, I wish I could remember who said it, but they kind of summed it up for me, and it sticks in my head sometimes. When I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like getting up. I'm sure it was a comedian, because it's what I do most times, listen to comedians. Is if you're not getting out there with the hustle of a crackhead looking for their next fix, you're going to be less than a crackhead.
Yeah.
And that just
the
when I heard
crackhead's going to out hustle you.
Yeah, you're gonna let a crackhead out hustle you? Like, no. Go out there and make your money.
Right.
Like, it for some reason, just the image of it struck with me. Like,
It's like, ooh, I don't want to be a crackhead.
I don't want to be worse than a crackhead. Like, they got more hustle than me. Nah, they don't. Like,
Yes, yeah. So yeah, energetic. I get up and usually get up 4:45, go down, have a couple of cups of coffee, wake up, fucking go ride the bike for 30 minutes. Do some lifting, do some pull-ups, push-ups, just body shit.
again, this is like 5 o'clock in the morning, folks.
Yeah.
Remember talking about his body falling apart? I pointed out he was a stud. Yeah, see, it's all coming out now.
No, it's so. I mean,
I hear that. I just want to take a nap.
and I did that. It wasn't a New Year's resolution or anything like that. It's like, look, went to the doctor. I'm fucking 198 pounds with dressed, so I'm probably 195. I'm like, I look like fuck. I got daddy belly, or what do they call that?
Dad bod.
Dad bod. I got the dad bod. And I'm like, fuck no, man. No dad bod here. So anyways, but even cardiovascularly, I could tell that I wasn't, having the endurance that I needed. So yeah. But anyways, yeah.
That's crazy, man. I love hearing the fact that you're able just to keep going, that you want to keep going, that you want to keep that drive, because you strike me as the guy that's retirement's not in your picture. You're going to go as long as you deem necessary.
Yep. I'll go. I'll be like my great grandfather.
Yeah. It's never going to be. It's never going to be no, I'm ready to retire. No, I'm going to just keep going until I'm all like, fuck it. I'm out.
Like I alluded to earlier, is you sit in a lazy boy, and you're basically, that chair is your fucking name, lazy, right?
We've talked before on the podcast.
God, yeah.
The number one killer of men is retirement.
Yes.
It is retirement. Yeah.
It's the number one killer of men.
Yeah.
See,
across the board.
It's just, I'll go as long as my body will let me. And 10 more years, maybe, whatever. It depends on what Nicole wants to do and what Nate does and all that. But, and Matt never asked me, he goes, what commitment I would give him. And I'm just going to work until, I think I'm good.
I'm glad you brought it up, because I was going to ask.
That's great.
Yeah.
They didn't ask you what your time commitment was. They were going to take what they could get from you, and that's good.
Yeah. No, but I think that there's probably a vibe that goes back and forth, right? I think Matt knows that I'm not in it for, a year or whatever. I'm in it for a bit, right?
Right.
As long as I enjoy it, and as long as Nicole enjoys staying here or whatever, so we're at a bit. But Nate's going to graduate in a couple of years, but we'll see what happens then. But I don't think we'll be moving. My brother Timmy would fucking die.
Look, shout out to your whole family. Yeah. Everyone I've ever met has been solid. Tim and Steve are two of my favorite people in the world. Yeah, I look forward to the next time I get to see Steve.
Yep.
He's
coming up in June.
Is he coming up in June?
He's coming up in June. So you'll have to come over. And you could say, this is like a save the date for you. June 21st, I think, is a Friday night, right? So I'll have I'll have some of my Marine buddies with their wives coming in. I think we got 12 or 14 people, including Nicole and I. So we'll have a big party in the cul-de-sac. Because all these guys are coming in from Oregon, Idaho, Mexico. That's up to you, you little, you bitch. He's got a place in Mexico too, but San Diego. So they're coming from all over the West Coast, and so they're flying in. We'll have a big to do on Friday night. Throw cornhole, drink some beers, do other whatever, and you got to come over, man. That'll be awesome.
I wouldn't miss it for the world, but also
so Steve and Kay will be here.
Right. So, so long story short, Steve and Kate, your brother and sister-in-law will be there. So listen, man, I will definitely be there. I wouldn't miss it for the world. John, I don't know if you've had the opportunity to experience this, but going to a party when I can normally walk in pretty confident in myself and meet some people and I'm social, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, we do this ridiculous podcast. being at a place with a bunch of fucking military dudes. His brother was like a tank commander and shit. Like, man, how do you just even have a conversation with any of those guys? It's been some of the most awkward times I've ever had, and I love a party meet new people. But man, you get around a bunch of dudes who were in the military for years. Like, you want to feel like anti-man real quick. You're standing there going, I have no stories. I don't even know what.
How big's your shoe size?
Right, racking your brain for fucking. Do I know any good jokes to get these guys back on my side? Like,
no, you don't have to worry about those.
I don't anymore. But when I first got to know a few dudes, it was kind of that way.
The only thing with these Marines that I had in Desert Storm, when they come here, and the reason it's like it's my part of my birthday, but these guys are fishermen.
Nice.
They're bringing the gear. They've been up here before. A couple of years ago, we went and we're catching big northern. So they want to come here and fish. So it's a big, and the wives come and support us, and they hang out and do whatever, and it's a blast. We were up at Vermilion for a week, and they'll all come in, and we'll have a big fucking hoopla, and then come back on next Saturday. We'll have another one, and everybody goes home.
John,
nice.
What are you doing June 21st, man?
Yeah, come on over, man.
We might set up a table in the cul-de-sac.
Oh, dude. Oh,
we might set up a table and have some conversations with some real motherfuckers in the cul-de-sac, maybe, if you were down. June 21st, it's Saturday. So it's a Friday, pardon me.
Friday night.
Put that in your calendar, man. Maybe we ought to have some conversations with some fantastic lunatics.
Oh, you guys would fucking die. Oh, my God, you would die.
Oh, dude. It won't be super loud. It's a cul-de-sac. There's not a lot of traffic.
June 21st is a Saturday.
No, it's the 20th then.
Then the 20th.
20th?
The Friday.
The Friday night. Because everybody flies in on Friday.
I'm not doing anything that day.
They
The
fly in
21st
on Friday, and you're doing it that Friday?
They'll fly in. Denny Rains from Oregon. He's one that you got to talk to. That motherfucker's funny as shit. Don't get him talking about hunting, fishing, trapping, anything.
I'm asking about all those things. Let's go.
he's a wilderness man, but he'll fly in on Thursday because he's probably my best buddy in the Marines. In that little clique of people, and so he'll fly in. Him and Danielle will fly in early, and then everybody else starts filtering in and at MSP, and they'll just come. They got hotel rooms, and everybody will meet. We'll have a big. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. Ribs or fucking brisket. We'll do something huge on a grill, and we just sit and we gotta fucking load up our shit for leaving Saturday morning, and we'll have a big party and throw cornhole in this cul-de-sac. And yeah, I mean, if you guys would set this rig up in at my house, I mean, you could even set it up in the house. But talking to some of these guys, I mean, you have an array of people that are just super dynamic,
I'm down.
super intelligent people. I mean,
thank God that he said I'm down before I just said what I was going to say, and we'll let him off the hook a little. So I'm glad you did it before me. I'm glad you jumped the gun.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be possibly the most editing you ever have to do in an episode.
I ain't going to edit shit.
Perfect. I wouldn't edit anything,
Good.
man.
Don't edit.
Oh,
Excellent.
no.
Don't edit.
No, that would be so fucking
I'm going to
awesome.
have a pile of media releases for that to sign before.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Pile of media releases to sign before that.
You guys would. I mean, there's they're from all over Oregon, and I already mentioned Idaho and fucking Arizona.
Folks, you're going to get this recording. We're calling it right now.
And you can talk to them about anything. You can talk to them about what it was like having me as their fucking staff sergeant.
Don't worry. I got lots of questions, my young friend. We've come a long way in our interview skills since your first episode. I got lots of questions, and I don't mind asking them.
But what I don't want you to forget is where they are now. I mean, one of my young kids, Marlon. I mean, he was this fucking Lance Corporal in the Marine, but the motherfucker would do anything and everything for me because he knew that I would protect him and do whatever, right? So, anyways, Marlon. I mean, he's like been voted the best employee at the hospital he works at for like the last fucking 10 years.
That's wicked, man.
Last 10 years.
No, that'd be great.
And if he drives up here, he'll have a backpack full of fucking weapons, knives, fucking pistols, fucking shotguns.
Just ready to go.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean,
Loaded for bear.
He is loaded for bear because he will not let anything happen to his wife. He's one of those guys.
It's a good attitude,
nope,
right?
Nothing will happen to my family because you'll die. So, anyways, you would, and they're fucking just awesome.
Yeah, we're definitely doing that for
That'd
sure.
be great.
Stand by for that, folks. That one's coming. We're
Yep.
definitely gonna do that. That'll be a good time, I think.
Oh yeah, my brother will be there. My brother Steve will be there. Fucking Tim will be there. You may be able to have enough where you could do 2 episodes.
Have we split 1 and a half before? We
Yes,
split
we
one
have.
and a half. The starting your own
2 of them.
business. 2 of them. What was the second
We've
one?
had a part 1, part 2. Starting your own business, and I can't remember which one of the other one was.
That's all right. Don't worry, Doug. I just saw Doug look at his phone.
Like-
As the time of this recording, folks, we will be watching tons of hockey after this. His local team, who I am supporting in my photos here, will be playing tonight, as will my Toronto Maple Leafs, hopefully sweeping the Senators. If I listen to this and they've been come back and beat, I'm going to be really upset.
And as always, I don't give a fuck.
And John, and that was episode 16 or 15, I believe,
I
folks.
don't give a fuck episode.
No, I tried to convince John to watch one sport.
Fucking golfing.
No, he won't, dude. I did. Go back and listen to the episode, folks. I did my level best to
Yeah.
try to convince John to just start listening or watching one sport.
I don't watch sports.
He don't give a flying fuck,
I don't
folks.
fucking care.
It was an hour and 10 minutes of my life. I'm never getting back.
I play golf.
You know, you wouldn't watch golf.
No, fuck no.
No way. I wouldn't watch golf either.
Yeah, I won't watch any sport.
But I'll tell you that watching hockey is the actual best sport in the world.
Preach.
I mean, I understand that. I got
There is no better sport as far as physicality and skill and speed and anything like that. There's nothing like it.
You have to limit the time on ice because you give everything you have the whole time, and they
40
don't want you having a heart attack.
For 45 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't disagree with any of it. Just it all bores me.
Well, and that's, I'm not digging on you for it, man.
Well,
I will.
If you watch
Yeah,
the cooking,
he does.
If
I
you
will.
watch the cooking show and fucking, Days of Our Lives,
dude,
fucking.
it's it's way worse than that.
Oh, no.
It's so much worse than that.
How bad can it get?
Minecraft,
Wow.
the little blocky video game thing.
That's entertaining,
Is it?
educational,
Is it?
uplifting.
just about as much as hockey is.
I got to admit, I don't learn much watching hockey.
I just got a big old sigh out of him.
Yeah.
That was great.
I don't learn much watching hockey, but man, it's entertaining and uplifting. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll move on.
But yes, to each their own, my brother.
Yeah.
I do watch baking shows because of the way.
But also,
I do
Nothing wrong
bake
with that.
though.
you do bake now in his.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
How long you been really doing that regularly?
Baking
A
regularly.
couple years, yeah.
Yeah, about 5.
About 5. Twice.
Twice.
Twice he brought stuff over for me, and one time they sent me home with something, and it was only his wife that suggested it. 5 years of bacon, twice he brought something by, and
Wow.
the second time only because I gave him shit because he didn't do it the first time. He talked about how he'd done all this bacon, and then showed up empty fucking handed.
It's so good we eat it all. Not my problem. My family likes my food I make.
Right.
All the effort I put into this fucking podcast, folks, can't get a cookie out of him. It's really sad times.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
telling
talk
you.
about how much effort I put in.
I know I only get 75% of the cookie, but that's better than nothing. Yes, folks, that's a tariff joke. They're going to keep up for a long while yet. Dude, I think we got everything we're going to get out of this squeeze today.
We probably did.
Yeah, Doug and I are getting after it here, and I can tell you I'm getting pretty drunk, folks. I'm going to say something cancelable here shortly if we don't wrap this one up.
That's why you edit.
Now, again, we don't... Listen, we've said it not too recently. So far, there's been 2 actual edits.
2 full-blown cover-ups.
Yeah. Now,
Two full-blown Bidens.
one of them was on your episode, and one of them was on Nick's.
Yeah. Go back and read.
Yeah, if you go back and listen, yeah, we had to edit a big company with real live lawyers out of the episode because that wasn't what we were interested in 18 episodes into the show.
Right.
And Nick used
a word that doesn't fly very well anymore these days.
Oh, right.
So
alternate sexuality starts with an F. Nobody gets away with saying it anymore. We had to edit that out real quick.
right.
I
Although
can
John-
picture him
al-
saying it.
Right. And it wasn't in a negative way like that. It was in the way we used to use it. That it's no longer okay to use it, but we all grew up like that, and it's weird that we have to change now. But I digress.
Wow. That was a fucking...
Some of the dark thoughts I have to let out occasionally,
Yeah.
right? I don't agree that it's a nice word, but we never meant it like that.
It was never
It's like
derogatory when
the
we used
R
to say
word.
it.
We never said it to people.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So, but anyways, again, I digress. The dark thoughts have to come out.
Right.
But yeah, one was you, one was Nick.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, because I I would cause at least one an episode, but I'm conscious of it because I don't want to cause you hassle.
Yeah, I mean, and for the most part, we're pretty mindful of things, and the most that I have to actually edit out is long pauses.
Yeah, sure.
Anymore.
Yep.
Or, dude, oh my God,
I stopped saying cunt so much.
I won't.
Only when I really mean it now.
Yeah, right.
I don't
right.
use it all the time. I save it for real specific cases.
And when it comes to that word, we use it in a fashion that it was designed and used properly. We never actually mean it towards a female person.
Right.
Unless, in the
She
rare
is.
case, she's actually being a cunt. So yes.
Right. But then you're being a cunt. You're not a cunt.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It's semantics,
It's
right?
different,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But anyway, as we said, we're not using cunt
He
anymore.
just said it 15 times.
It's like cunt.
That's the fun of the whole thing, right?
But no, we do pretty good. Like, we don't have to edit much. Long pauses, random conversation bullshit. Yeah, I had one that was a complete fail. Jason caught me on it. He texted me. He's like, "Hey, I didn't think you were going to leave all that in on the end of the episode." And I'm like, "I didn't." He's like, "Oh yes, you did." This was all at work, and I just went, "Oh, shit!"
Posted to the entire internet.
Oh, nice.
So I'm deleting and canceling.
If you were one of the 18 or 20 people that got to hear the full thing before we pulled it and changed it, or by we I mean John,
welcome.
Good on you. You're in a small percentage. I think it was like 18 people you said.
Oh,
right?
Jesus.
Yeah.
How many followers do you guys have now?
It's not
19?
Not what we want. What we
19?
want.
not what we want. We're getting there.
The listens are satisfying, but of course, folks, please tell 5 friends. It doesn't fucking hurt you to take the link of this and send it to a few people and go, hey, you might fucking like this. Help us out. It's real fucking easy. We're doing this for free, for fuck's sakes. Like, come on.
Yeah, the sharing is fucking easy on your phone.
Yeah, it
takes 3 seconds.
so
Jesus.
easy, right? Like, review, rate, subscribe, something.
Yeah.
Help us out.
Rate,
Like,
re-
it's so
rate,
easy.
review,
Rate,
subscribe.
review, subscribe. It's so easy. I'll go off on a drunken tangent at the end here. I don't give a fuck. It's so easy. I listen, folks. I listen to a dozen podcasts religiously every week because I'm by myself most of the time and I'm just got an earbud in my ear. It's so easy to do it. I mean, give me a break. You can't take 5 seconds. Like, come on.
Right. But yeah. No,
Also,
I
you
think
can go on our
that's
website, ishoppodcast.com. The beer, buy us a beer widget is right there. You can buy us 1 or multiple beers. It helps out this podcast. Thank you.
pretty good. Yeah. And hit us up on all of our socials. You can actually text Jason and I directly at 607
No,
507
Oh,
607 4729 507 607 ISAW.
Right.
ISAW. For everybody.
I love
that-
these drunken ones.
Wow.
We haven't done one in a while.
Oh,
We're going
God.
after it.
So yeah.
Heebity.
And Doug, what would you like to tell, just as a closing statement, what would you like to actually tell somebody that is
Thinking about
in your
making
shoes,
a change.
in your shoes, at your stage in life, at your age, and thinking, can I do this or can I not?
Or at 52 or at 42.
Right.
Making a
right.
change.
Well, I would think that you'd have to make the decision based on your circumstances. Like mine, obviously, was more physical than mental. So once that decision is made, it's just how dedicated are you? How motivated are you? How fuck, I don't even know. I don't even think like that, I guess.
No,
I don't even think like I'm like, no, you just can't stop. I never stop.
Right.
So it's just like, no, as long as I have my wits about me, I like to interact with people. I love dealing with clients. My phone's buzzing, but
That's all right.
yeah. So
Don't worry, everybody heard it.
Yeah. It's Brian Kegger. Shout out to Brian.
Shout out Brian
Going,
Kegger.
hold on. What's that some bitch got to say? You ready?
Brian sponsored the podcast recently. He's going to be a sponsor one of these episodes. Maybe for this one. Now that he texted
absolutely.
me,
Yes,
maybe he should be the
Brian.
sponsor for this one.
Shout out to
to
Kegger.
Brian for
Thank you,
sponsoring the
sir.
episode.
Should I text him? I'll text him after. So anyways, I it's to me, it's just like, I'm just going, I'm rolling, it's like, boom, and if I didn't get this gig, like I said, I had a March deadline. If I didn't find a job or get a job that I liked, and I rocked out on this fucking job, this is exactly what I wanted. I had I was going for my CDL, right? CDL, get a fucking hotshot truck and trailer and just haul loads. So anyways, so I always had something. It never crossed my mind just to stop. Financially, I don't want to do it for one, right? I mean, we want to be in a solid place before we quit. And Nicole's got 10 years. She's 10 years younger than I am.
Yeah, I didn't want to point it out, but now that he brought it up, it's open season. It's also important to point out that Doug's wife is a 10-year younger than him, hottie, that he's trying to have a longer career, so they retire by the same time.
Yes, yes, I can't be that.
Shout out, Nicole, we love you.
Yes, I can't be that guy to go. No, anyways, so
it's just about getting after it, right?
Yeah.
Just fucking do it, right?
Yep. You got to have a positive fucking attitude, and just it's not about yourself, right? It's about how you affect and help other people. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I was like, I like to make people smile. I like to make people happy. I like, I'm not a happy guy. I'm just like fucking. So anyways, it's like, yeah, that's part of it. Just to go out there and just fucking enjoy it and make people happy and quit fucking dicking the dog, man.
I love it, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that sums it up, right? Don't be scared of making a change because you think that it's not the right time, or you might fail, or you got to learn some new things, or it's a different system. Yeah. Fucking, if you're not happy in your career, go out and make a change, try something different.
Well, one of the designers, texted me because I don't know, I asked her a question, and she just texted me. She goes, "Thanks for jumping right in," right? And I'm like, "Why test the water? Fucking jump right in, man. It's like fucking."
Well, they hired you for a reason.
Yeah.
Right. Use the fucking reason.
Yeah.
Right? Don't pussyfoot about it.
Nope.
They clearly want you there. Real quick, earlier in the episode, you had said a female name of somebody who was at the company. I think it started with a D. Delta. Was there a Denise or something?
My company?
Yeah, your new company.
No. There's Evangeline, Karen, and Trisha.
Evangeline, Karen, and Trisha. Well, I'm going to put Evangeline, Karen, Trisha, Matt, James, and Leon. I've been writing notes as we go. Shout out to all of them at Sawhill.
Sawhill Custom Cabinets.
Sawhill Custom Kitchen and Bathroom.
Wow.
Shameless plug. You want to help us out on here? Check out iSawPodcast.com. The Buy Us a Beer widget is right at the website. You can sponsor this podcast.
That's if Doug fucking tells them to listen.
I will.
Doug got to tell everybody to listen.
Yep. But maybe not all of them. But.
Yeah, no, maybe not all. The people who might appreciate it.
Yeah.
That sums it up for today, folks. Thanks for listening to this drunken fun rant, Doug.
Yep.
This is the reason you were the 2024 guest of the year, man. You're fun. Come on, have some laughs. We'll have some tangents and rants. This has been great, man.
Wait till June, man. Wait till June.
We appreciate it.
Yep.
John, what else do we need to tell them? We shamelessly plugged everything through this one the whole time. I had to get one more in at the end with all the names. I was writing them down as I went.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thanks for shouting out everybody. Doug, thanks for being here again. It's always a pleasure having you.
Absolutely. I'll come back.
Yeah. Oh,
you have to.
All the time.
You have to.
You're welcome anytime, my man. Other than that, just everybody remember your work is important, and your work keeps the world working as we get after it.
Fuck yeah, it does. If it wasn't for us, blue-collar folk, we wouldn't be where we're at.
Nothing get fucking done.
Nothing get done.
Yeah, you can
We'd
design.
still be living in fucking caves.
You can design all you want. You still need us to build them.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Cheers, Joyce. Thank you.
Cheers. Sláinte.
All right. Thanks, guys.